Okay, this video is about the capitalization of software development. And so take a look at these pictures next to me. What are these people doing? Well, these people are coding on their computers and they are developing software. Okay, they are software developers. The question is, okay, we're paying these guys salaries. They probably have free food in the kitchen. So we're paying for all of the equipment that they need to develop this software and all of the things that they're doing. Okay, they're developing software. There are costs involved in developing software. The question is, can we capitalize those costs or not? And the answer is we can capitalize those costs, but there's one term you need to know, and let me show you what that is. So let's take a look. So the capitalization of software development is allowed. What is it? These are costs associated with the development of software, and the key term is called technological feasibility. So you can start capitalizing software development costs as soon as you've reached the phase of technological feasibility in the process of developing that software. And so what does technological feasibility mean? I don't really know because I'm an accountant, so let me just read you the definition of technological feasibility. The company has completed all planning, designing, coding, and testing activities necessary to establish that the product can be produced to meet design specifications. Okay, that's technological feasibility. So if we think about the timeline, which I'm showing here, of developing software, the very first thing that happens is all of these people start coding. So they start coding up the software. But this is before we've reached technological feasibility. So during this time period, all of the costs that we're incurring to develop the software, they must just be expensed, okay? As they are incurred, they are expensed. We cannot capitalize costs yet. But at some point in the coding process, we reach this magical time of technological feasibility. And from that point on, we can capitalize costs. So back here in the expense costs time, we were just debiting expense and crediting cash if we were paying these costs in cash. After we reach technological feasibility, rather than debiting expense, we're actually debiting an asset account and crediting cash after we've reached technological feasibility. So during this time period, we are capitalizing the costs. Once we've finished coding the software and we can start using the software, well, that's when those capitalized costs start to amortize or depreciate into the income statement. So they've created this big gross book value on our balance sheet. And then we set a useful life for those costs and we amortize or depreciate them into the income statement over that useful life. So it's a debit account on the balance sheet. And what we'll do over time is we'll debit amortization or depreciation expense, and we'll credit accumulated amortization or accumulated depreciation over the useful life of that software, okay? And that's the final phase of the software. So now let's just look at a company example that does this software development. And the example we use is Salesforce. And so here is Salesforce balance sheet. And in the assets section of their balance sheet, you see that they have a line called capitalized software net. And net refers to its net of accumulated amortization or depreciation, okay? So that is the net book value of the capitalized software. They are amortizing it as we speak. And the net book value there is 152. This is in millions, so that's $152 million as of January 31st, 2019. And in footnote 1 to their financial statements, you can read their accounting policy for capitalized software costs. And they don't specifically mention technological feasibility here, but they kind of refer to it. They say the company capitalizes costs related to its enterprise cloud computing services and certain projects for internal use incurred during the application development stage. So by the way, you can use this. So this is enterprise cloud computing services. That's for external purposes, right? They sell that to customers. They can capitalize that as well as they can capitalize projects for internal use. So this is external or internal use software. Costs related to preliminary project activities. So when they say preliminary project activities, that refers to pre-technological feasibility, so pre-TF activities, and post-implementation activities, so after the software is already ready to go. The costs are just expensed as they're incurred. But during that magical time of after technological feasibility and before the software is ready to go, the costs are capitalized. Internal use software is amortized on a straight line basis over its estimated useful life, which is generally 3 to 5 years. Management evaluates the useful life of these assets on an annual basis and tests for impairment whenever events or changes in circumstances occur that could impact the recoverability of these assets. So there you go. Salesforce seems to be complying with the accounting rules for capitalized software costs.